Gary, we're just a couple of days away from the start of the season. Excitement must be building amongst the squad.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can see it with the training. I think this week particularly, the tempo has been a lot higher. The players look like they've really switched on to what's required. And I think after a very, very hard-working 5.5 weeks, the players are ready for that first game. And I think it's always the same. That no matter what you do in pre-season, you can never replicate the feeling of a few days that build up to that first game, and we're all really excited.
You mentioned pre-season there. Do you feel fully prepared, ready going into that game at the weekend?
I think we do now. I think it's been quite difficult at times pre-season just because of the bodies coming in and signings, but I think a lot of people will be in that same boat unless you've managed to keep the same group together for 2 or 3 years. There's always going to be challenges with that, but I'm really happy with the group that we've got. I'm really happy how we look, and I'm hoping that we can take that into the first game. But at the same time, a season's not defined on 1 or 2 games, so we might have some things in the first game that we need to do better, but certainly I'm happy with the group, and we're really looking forward to the challenge of Leeds.
Do you feel as though they're gelling quite well, particularly the new boys that have come in?
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting really, because I don't think we've had a chance to play our strongest team this pre-season yet, and because of that nature. So, but I think bit by bit you can start to see people perform and step up to the plate and make it really difficult to leave them out of that first game. So it's going to be a tough call. It's a very, very good squad. There's a lot of players that are probably going to miss out who could deserve to play, but that's my job.
We've mentioned new players. You've obviously brought in a new one this week, and Ashley Williams. You must be pleased to add him to the group.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it wasn't common sense to start the season with two centre-backs, 2 senior centre-backs. I have to say Harry Souttar's done really, really well pre-season and looked better and better from day one where he struggled, but he's got stronger and stronger. But Ash coming in, I think, gives us more depth, gives us great competition for places. Certainly in terms of Bruno, in terms of Ryan, and in terms of Ash, we could play any 2 of those 3 and we'd be very, very strong, and I think that's what you want. You can't afford to have an injury and weaken your team, so really pleased, good character. You can see straight away gelled with the boys, which I think was important to make that type of signing. He's coming ready and raring and looking forward to being part of what we do.
What sort of qualities do you feel he brings to the group?
I think he brings obvious leadership qualities. I think he's a voice. He's got great experience, which I think in the centre-half position is one position where the reading of the game and the experience of the Championship in particular is crucial. He gives us an additional threat. He's a threat of set pieces. But above all, almost he's a good player. He's very comfortable on the ball. He can be aggressive when he has to defend. And again, like I said, I think we've got 3 very different players. We've got Bruno who can play on the left. We've got Ryan who can play on the right. And we've got Ash who can play either. So I think we're looking a lot stronger because of it, and again that's probably an area that we would still like to strengthen that back 4 in terms of our squad depth.
Is Ashley someone that could be involved on Sunday?
Yeah, he'll have a good chance of being involved on Sunday. I think you bring a player like Ashley Williams into the building, you're not bringing him in to leave him out of the group straight away. I think that because of the size of our squad and because of the strength of our squad, unfortunately there's going to be very good players probably not in the match day 20 on Sunday. But again, it's a long season, doesn't necessarily mean that they won't be part of what we're doing. It just means that at this moment whatever we pick will be the 20 we pick.
You've mentioned that you'd like to bring in some more new players. Do you expect anything to happen before the weekend, or is it more likely to happen next week now?
Yeah, probably next week. I think that, again, signing Ashley just gives us that little bit of cover because obviously Bruno could play at left back if required. We've got Tom Edwards who played there over in Germany and did okay. So we've got a little bit of extra cover in there if needs be. If Eric doesn't make it fitness-wise. But I think it'd be difficult to add, just due to the nature of the window, difficult to add anyone before Sunday. So I think it'll be next week now. But again, we're quite comfortable with that. I think sometimes you can dive in with signings and try to get them done, and then you've then got that signing for the whole season. So I'd rather get the right signing, and if we have to wait for that, then we'll wait.
You've mentioned Eric there. How is everybody shaping up in terms of fitness? Because obviously 4 lads didn't make the trip to St Pelly last week.
Yeah, again, we'll just assess those players as the week develops. We'll see which ones might have a chance of making it. I don't think all of them will make it, but we'll see which ones do, But whichever way round it is, we'll have a very strong team going into Sunday's games, and it's an opportunity for anyone who starts the game. You know, it's a great opportunity for them to go and show everyone what they're about on the first day of the season.
In terms of Leeds United, what sort of challenge do you expect? They've had a new manager themselves this summer, haven't they?
Yeah, look, they'll be a good team. Leeds United's always a very, very tough opponent, particularly at Elland Road. It's a hostile place to go. Probably said it before, for me, as a player, it's probably the hardest place to go out of a lot of stadiums. So it'll be a good game. A new manager coming in with new ideas, obviously brought new players into their group. But like they'll be saying the same about us, it's about what we do. It's about how we focus on ourselves, and we'll be mindful of the opposition's quality, but at the same time, it'll be really about how we approach the game and what we require from our team.
Must be great to know that you'll have 2,500 Stokies there in the away end and hoping to get off to the perfect start.
Yeah, look, I hope they're enthusiastic about it. It's a new challenge for all of us. And I think what we want to do as a group together, we want to embrace that challenge, and we'll look forward to the game. Like you say, we'll be backed fantastically well, and we really appreciate their support. It means a lot. It means a lot to the players. It'll make a massive difference. And if they can make as much noise as possible, that'd be fantastic.